All right, the Battle of the Bogside. The Battle of the Bogside is going to begin August 12th, 1969. Again, remember the Bogside's a deeply Catholic neighborhood in Derry. It's going to happen is the Apprentice Boys, which is a unionist fraternal organization, is going to be doing a march. Okay, again, these marches are very prevalent in Northern Ireland. There's this history of marching in Northern Ireland anyways. And it's going to be happening on real both sides. So the Apprentice Boys are going to be allowed to march beside the Bogside, which a lot of Catholics living in the Bogside are going to see this kind of as a form of intimidation and almost as a form of provoking. A lot of the Unionists are going to be saying simply they have the right to march here. It's their city. They can do kind of what they want. Both sides are going to be insulting each other and hurling really vile words at one another. And it's going to escalate to the Nationalists throwing rocks and Molotov cocktails from their windows and roofs off to marchers in the Apprentice Boys organization as they're walking and marching down below. Now, you can imagine, this is not going to exactly go over well. The RUC, again, the Royal Ulster Constabulary, is going to enter the Bogside with armored cars, tear gas, and water cannons. Nationalists living in the Bogside are going to be effective in holding them off initially. However, the violence is going to ensue, and it's just going to get worse. Nationalists, in response to this, this is going to be broadcast around Ireland and in the United Kingdom. Nationalists are going to hold protests against the RUC at RUC sites all across Northern Ireland. Loyalists in Belfast are going to see this tension, and they're going to invade Catholic neighborhoods in Belfast, burning nationalist homes and businesses to the ground. Really, violence is just happening across the country, largely as a result of this march, the insults that were hurled, the rocks and stones that were thrown, and the RUC invading. So this is going to really just kind of kick things off and really kind of ignite a powder keg that was Northern Ireland in 1969, really on the verge of civil war at this point when it comes to sectarian violence. Gunfights are erupting across Northern Ireland. The RUC is going to be using armored vehicles with machine guns. In doing so, they're going to be fighting back against nationalists who are involved in protesting. The nationalists, again, don't like the RUC, see them as corrupt and kind of quasi-force of the unionist movement. In doing this, the RUC is going to accidentally kill a 9-year-old Catholic boy. You can understand how this is going to go over. Again, just really fueling this kind of anger and frustration held by the nationalists against the RUC. If we look back at incidents like the Burntollet Bridge, the first march, where they were behind the rope barricades, it's really not looking good for the RUC among the nationalists right through here. Response in the Republic of Ireland. Taoiseach Jack Lynch on August 13th, 1969. The Taoiseach is like the Prime Minister of Ireland, is going to give a publicized address to his people when he states, "We can no longer stand by and see innocent people injured and perhaps worse." A lot of people are going to be kind of thinking that this is maybe the Republic of Ireland getting involved in the conflict, which could potentially lead to war. In his speech, he is going to call for a UN peacekeeping mission. He's going to have hospitals set up across the border. Again, Derry is very close to the UK border. It's right across the border. They're going to have hospitals set up so those that are injured could go across and get medical help. He's going to state that the only solution would be Irish reunification. Now, in stating this, some people believed that this was a threat of military invasion. So basically that if this violence does not end by the RUC, that the Republic of Ireland will invade Northern Ireland. Now, loyalists in Northern Ireland are going to see this as deeply problematic because, again, their whole idea and kind of the rationale behind opposing the civil rights movement was their belief that this was a response or a kind of the IRA working in secret to influence and bring about a unification of Ireland. So it's going to be problematic on their eyes, but again, their violence is prevalent, and he's going to be stating that this is problematic, and reunification is the only way to solve this. Ireland is secretly going to develop plans for a humanitarian intervention, in which case the military would come in to restore order. They're doing this in secret. If they did it publicly, it could just escalate the situation and bring about civil war, but they're going to have these plans in action in case they decide that they need to use them. Ultimately, the riots are going to end. British soldiers are going to be deployed on August 14th and August 15th. Finally get established. They do not attempt to enter the Bogside. They realize that that's kind of what caused the whole situation in the first place. Therefore, they decide not to go in. This is going to bring about a temporary end to violence, okay? As we talk about the Troubles, a lot of the stuff that happens is temporary. Not a long-term end to the violence, a temporary end to the violence, especially up into these early years. They're going to establish a series of peace walls simply to separate communities. So they're almost going in, I guess not almost, they are going in and really just dividing the different places. Okay, so the Catholics will have one section, the Protestants will have another section. We're going to put a literal wall up between to keep the peace and prevent this level of violence. These are still seen in Northern Ireland. If you go up there today, you can still see peace walls. As a result of the Battle of the Bogside, 745 are going to be injured. 154 of them are from gunshots. Again, this is getting very, very close to a civil war. 154 buildings are going to be demolished. Of those buildings demolished, 83% were occupied by Catholics. So again, it's going to be kind of important to understand where the Catholics will be coming from, using this kind of as a rallying point moving forward. So to understand kind of the different perspective of the nationalist and the Protestant, and the Unionist Protestants right through here as well. At this time period, again, during the Battle of the Bogside, 1,505 Catholics and 315 Protestants are going to flee their homes, getting out because they're really becoming refugees. It's not safe for them to be home. They need to leave. That is all for now. Comments, questions, put it below. Hang in there. See you later. Good luck.